fire, 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 fire. This fake blindfold speedrun fooled everyone. Yeah, this is the new one he posted. This is gonna be amazing. I can't wait. This again? Does he further go in depth? Yes, we've been waiting since, I think it's been a week or two. I forget when the last video was, but I think it was like a week and a half ago. Yeah. 10 days. Yeah, I think it was like a little bit over a week. Yeah. This is like the grand opus. The finale, so to speak. So I'm very, very ready for this. Me personally, I only have 200 to 300 hours on Monster Hunter, so I don't know like all the ins and outs. I don't know how blindfolding speedruns work. I actually thought that she was a real, you know, she was being real. Let Parody react. I don't know if she's here anymore. It's funny, no spoilers. Yes, chat, no spoilers, no spoilers. I want to react for it myself. She's streaming. Oh, I'll ask her later what she thinks. Anyway, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
You absolute legends. Last month, the streamer known as Queen Ponsalot pretended to beat the dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold. This garnered her quite a lot of attention, but when people experienced with the game she was playing and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately it was fake. Unfortunately,
I thought it was real too, to be fair. I don't know a thing about blindfold runs and I thought it was real. Like, it's not really Asmon's fault either, because he just reacted genuinely like he would.
Queen Ponsalot's effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor. Not only was she using strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin.
This was what got it for me. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. The blindfold itself is so sheer, like right here, this line, that you can see through it. It's not completely transparent, but yeah.
And obviously fake, even we, the viewers, could see straight through it. Soon enough, people were making videos calling out her fake run, and Queen Ponsalot was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out, the public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout. After
trying to dodge the first double head swipe, which has no audio cue. That is pretty sus. Sussy level 8 out of 10. I like the sussy levels.
receiving backlash, Queen Ponsalot fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the dragon Alatreon, but this time with more proof. On the 14th of February, she went live, and she was stacked.
Oh wait, I should probably move. Hold on. You can see that she has a camera centered on her hands. And that her thing is blocked out too, both of them.
To the gills with ironclad anti-cheat measurements. This time she wore a genuine blindfold. She had a hand cam. She had input display. She had paper covering up her monitors. And she was live. Surely there was absolutely no way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Altreon blindfold kill was actually real.
Again, he doesn't know enough. I don't know enough. I thought it was real, but I don't have thousands of hours.
It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Ponsalot was just more gifted than everyone else, and she could really do things blindfolded that no one else could. Or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know two things. One, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And two, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners. I was committed to finding out how this was done. I
have to preface, the fact that I went through, as someone who does not watch, or like, I enjoy Monster Hunter, but I'm not like a Giga fan. I sat through the entire half an hour of that, one of the guys that debunked the whole thing. and I really enjoyed it. The autism was peaking. It was great.
Envisioned sophisticated
Really
cheating
well
methods that would be
done by
impossible
them.
to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Pongelot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily.
Yeah.
For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to
3
clarify game
days.
mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software, but I was getting
What?
nowhere. And then, after 72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Pongelot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within
is it?
20 minutes
What
of
is it?
seeing
What
Queen
is it?
Pongelot do this one thing, we knew exactly how she did it, and we had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it.
Oh no, was it so stupid it was right in front of his face? Dude, I can't wait! I want to see it! I want to see it!
But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Pongelot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the dragon Elatreon, and I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many things she did to try and fool you.
I have to guess. My personal, like, dumbest down guess would be that it was pre-recorded and she tried to memorize what she did in the, what is it called? Like, by trying to match what she was doing with her hands, and then he would have to cross-reference her hitting the keys. You can't see it, but I'm pointing to the keys to the hands and everything else in between. Like, you can't perfectly replicate that. Yeah, each input hand sync a pre-recorded run. You can't do that. The hand cam is also pre-recorded. But then how? Huh. Okay, I'm just gonna let him cook. It's kind of hard to think that she could get away with it, but we'll see.
Really hope you enjoy.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying
Legends,
to
let's be
guess.
honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd. I'm a huge
Yeah.
nerd. You're a huge nerd. That's
Yes.
just the way it is. And
Correct.
as nerds, there is nothing more important or fulfilling than having a really good gaming PC, which is why you should invest in a PC from today's sponsor, Starforge Systems.
No way! No way! Asmon's company sponsored him! That's so cute! The guy that started this all sponsored him. That's cute. I like that.
Starforge makes things super easy, especially for people like me who don't know how or just don't want to build their own PC. They offer amazing pre-built PCs at all different price points, so if you go in with a certain budget, you know you're going to get the best you can for your money. Starforge PCs are used by tons of your favorite creators, including myself. They are built by hand in
Whoa!
Austin, Texas by experienced builders, they look beautiful, and they run smoothly. Plus, they are reliable, coming with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. I rely on my PC for absolutely everything, including this YouTube channel. My standards are extremely high. I need something powerful and I need something quiet. And the PC I got from Starforge Systems was literally everything I could have asked for. Please get yourself a PC you deserve. The link to Starforge Systems will be in the description. Go and check out their PCs today.
That's cute.
In my previous video, we looked at Queen Pongelot's earlier blindfolded runs, where she used a really thin, transparent sheet of material to cover her eyes and pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake. As far as her gameplay was concerned, it's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claimed
It's funny because I thought, again, I have to preface this, I thought her run was real until I saw the sheer transparency of the mask. It wasn't that obvious. You needed like all of the context for it.
To use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years
Like,
of
I'm a
blindfolded
casual
competition
Monster
tells
player.
us that this is impossible. I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you
Where
are
the head
looking
is.
up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again, and in some cases, it's even worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up the camera, and then immediately and
Correct
perfectly
it.
fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is quite literally no audio cue, like in this example. Beyond the impossible
Yeah.
vertical movement,
Yeah.
we also see
Zero audio cue. It's even muffled because that's the point of the fight. Because he's like deafening you.
crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable. I mean,
Whoa.
just look at this gameplay.
She has super hearing, man. What are you talking about, man?
In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious. And remember, looking up does nothing. It doesn't let her hit any higher, so there is literally no point in doing this other than
Microscopic little adjustments like that. That's kind of what sealed it for me personally. And then people were like coping and saying, "Oh my god, you actually can micro-correct like that while you're blindfolded because it's force of habit." It's like, bitch, what do you mean force of habit? He had a video before this where I think it was the Stozy guy. No, not Stozy. The other guy that did the big video debunking this, he did the thing where he had a little tracker in the middle and you move your mouse and try to put it back into the middle while your eyes are closed, and I failed it 5 out of 10 times. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work.
than to see the
Beethoven?
head, which makes
Oh,
no
whatever
sense
his name
if
is, the
you're
one with the octopus
blindfolded.
logo. I
All
forget
of
his
this
name.
seems very confusing
G-Gux?
because she
Yeah.
appears to be wearing a proper blindfold. And as I mentioned before, her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that she can't see them anyway. This led
Yeah.
me to consider other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon. This would
Okay.
solve the problem of locating the dragon and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems, like being able to dodge
I
a
feel like the aimbot would also be really obvious because aimbots generally snap really hard. Even if you turn it down so that it doesn't snap directly to the target, it's a bit obvious. I don't know.
attacks that don't have sound cues.
least in, like,
one instance,
shooters
she
and
accidentally
shit,
hooks
even if
onto
you turn it
Alatreon's
down.
leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no audible difference between hooking onto the leg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord. With someone in her
Okay.
ear and some aim assist software, you might
That's definitely feasible. You can mute people in Discord, but you can still hear them.
be able to play like this without sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World expert TSC, who actually developed the first known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she was
Oh.
using an aimbot to achieve this effect, it would require software far more sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most common
He actually enlisted an exploiter. That's cool. Did she show the inside of her face mask? Yes, she like shone a torch through it and showed that it was not transparent.
theory I saw online was that she was using pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe she beat Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before. I even made a video about a speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon. However, I didn't believe this was the case. Queen Ponzelot had 2 cameras and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game. And so did her
Okay.
keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity was very high, so a lot of movements are hard to see, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It did appear as though she was actually playing. In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her, perhaps by using remote assistance. This is an idea that the YouTuber Abisoft spent some time investigating to see
this guy, the Abisoft guy, that was the one that I did the trick on and I failed his little test.
if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it.
As a magician, we got the clown circus coming out! As a magician, I can immediately tell you the extra real blindfold she used is one used for magic tricks. They're oversized as hell and have the capability to appear both opaque and transparent to the wearer. My initial judgment was slightly wrong. Anyway, he's a magician. Trust him, guys.
But this is extremely unlikely. Her blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and trust me, we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Ponzelot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it. What is on the screen? And what is on the thing?
There's an inventory open. I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that an inventory? I don't know what that is. I wouldn't be able to
on her screen. And then watch what happens. She puts it back down to cover. She's quickly trying to hide it. And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something to do with how she was faking her gameplay? At seemingly random times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tap her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game.
Why are you hitting the Windows key? I hardly ever hit the Windows key, personally. Like, no, I never do, because my Windows... I mean, I guess it depends on the keyboard. Yeah, I hit the Windows key when I need to, like, fucking bring up the task manager. Like, I'm doing it right now, but you can't see it, because I'm using the software where it's only capturing the screen. Big piss. The one screen. Massive piss.
Poggies.
Yo, Dwin, thank you for the 5 months. She'll claim she uses a hotkey. No fucking way. Nah. Challenge and speedrunners are better at gathering info than the FBI. Honestly, yes. Window capture. Yeah. That's what I use. It captures the windows. You can't see it, but I know what you're talking about. It brings up the menu. Yeah.
Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again.
That is really weird. Why? I wouldn't be able to tell you. Big piss. Massive piss.
This is bizarre, and she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it. She acts as if this really weird thing that she is doing isn't happening, which is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
We needed to fix the Toby.
How does she... Yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. I genuinely don't know.
I think this tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts, but an important question to ask is how did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre. In the end, however,
yeah, if I was having a tech issue and I'm doing a blindfolded run and there's a lot on the line, I feel like I would be a lot more irritated, if that makes sense. I don't know. I get irritated easily, but maybe she's just built different.
After discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant red herring. After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then, in the middle of the night, I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Ponesalot did that was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her
Why is she leaning so far forward and hiding it from the camera?
viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something, and this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding
This better be game over. We've got another 10 minutes.
her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I needed to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was in fact a third hidden monitor.
You're dragging. Oh, she was dragging something. And she was hiding it too. She was hiding it. You can see it right here. Like, where she's leaning like this, like, why does she lean it like that, but then all the other times she lifts up the flap and it's like, you can see the entire screen? I don't know, man, I don't buy it.
Revealed to me that there was in fact a third hidden monitor. Queen Ponesalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor because, yeah. There's the other one. So you guys know. There it is.
All my other stuff on it. Yeah, okay.
This is a lie. In truth, she has a third monitor to her right, off camera. Before she covers it with paper, we can see that her main monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, alright, cool. Now, alright. Oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Why don't you lift the whole thing so then you don't have to lean like that? Kind of weird, but okay.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it.
The counter argument to this, by the way, and saying like, oh, she's hiding like something like private. It's like you're streaming. Actually, you can set it up so you can have certain things hidden and not have it shown, or closed everything down in case you're worried. And why would it take her so long to fix it too? That's like 10 seconds.
She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
Where is... That's why we go through what we go through, right?
Verbal diarrhea!
You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
why is she looking to the right? Yep. Why is she looking to the right? Like right here. Do you see that?
The way that it has to be.
Why is she looking over here? And while she's holding this up.
And,
Bro.
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you do
moving
when you
her
hold
hand
down
too.
your mouse button? You drag windows. While talking, she drags her OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display. We can see her hand move it to the right, and she even looks at her hidden monitor on the right when she does this.
That's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
She will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see
Her camera is even sitting on top of the third monitor. No, man, you're just stupid.
the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS
And the funniest part is, even if you dismiss the fact that, and you say that she's looking at the camera on the right, like a camera stand, she's not looking directly at the camera. She's looking off of it. If you say it's a camera.
and,
She will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
alright, move that over. Okay. Sure it's there. Okay. I'm sorry.
She moves her mouse to the left, she looks to the left, and she even says that she's moving something. However, we can see on the input display, she doesn't even click her mouse.
Move that over. Okay.
Now, despite the fact her monitor on the right is supposed to be a secret, she cannot help but stare at it constantly. She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However,
I would 1000% upload your run, including the whole setup you just did entirely unedited, but that's probably already been told. Huh.
mid-sentence she realizes how
Interesting.
stupid this is and stops talking.
Alright. Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
After
She's
panicking
so
and thinking for
nervous,
10
man.
seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
Oh my god! How can you read the chats? That is so funny. He did all this in-depth research trying to figure out how she cheated just to find out that she cheated by having a third monitor, bro. And it was so obvious too. I don't even blame him. When you get down into the nitty-gritty of something and you try to justify it in a really smart way, you won't realize that it's sitting right in front of you. That's why people always say take a fucking step back if you don't know. Like, just relax. Like, just take it. Like, look at the bigger picture. It's the same thing with this chick.
Everything will be unedited. What was the last thing you said? Unedited.
The funny
Yeah, how did you read that?
thing about Queen Pongelot reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place, and it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there. And it also causes her to screw up by responding to it. I'm guessing she just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her
No, man, she just has a fourth monitor with chat on it like that so that she has to crane her neck like a fucking 90 degrees.
fans talking about her as she was
She got nervous, messed up and accidentally self-reported Keck.
I'm sure there's more to
playing.
it, man.
So we know
Surely.
that she has a monitor to her right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold. She's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight. If you wear them loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold. The gamer Juzzy has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he showed his two monitors which he turned off, he wore a proper blindfold, he used the exact same input display, and he had a hand cam. With all of this, he also killed Alatreon in expert fashion.
did he do it, man? Oh, that's so weird.
Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but
Big piss.
despite my
Massive piss.
short-sightedness without glasses, I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them. And why is that? It's because there's a secret here. Right now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides left and right in my peripheral vision. Then the next step to the trick is the fact that another thing you guys noticed, there's two monitors here, right? But
Sorry, I'm just so flabbergasted. I didn't think of the third monitor thing at all because it's like she must have perfectly positioned it so that she could look at it in peripheral vision.
they're not the only ones. There's a third monitor on my left.
On top of wearing her blindfold very loosely,
She also scrunches up her face, which pushes her cheeks out to increase the size of the gap.
Queen Ponzelot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way. This is to get a better viewing angle. Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days and weeks, and for that entire time, she always sat like this. She
Yep, he's got receipts, let's go!
was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could
It's
see
not
straight through it
entirely,
and was
yeah.
looking at the monitor directly in front of her. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it, which is why she has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side. This is not a normal way to sit, and world-class blindfold speedrunner Bubsia confirms that when you see someone sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
And if I curve up even more, but that's already looking very sus, I guess, if you sit there like your neck breaks.
Well, I've done it as well. You know when you're a little kid and your parents put a blindfold on you, so sometimes you'll go to sleep faster because of all the light in the room? My parents did that to me a couple of times. I would pretend to be asleep, and when I hear them like walking out of the room, I'll like look and see if they're actually still there and peep like that. Yeah.
If I sit like this, for example, I can see half of my monitor.
Yeah. You can make it out.
I can see OBS right
I'm a little
now,
peeper.
literally. I can see the volume meters going up. I can see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it. I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was a hidden monitor, which some people did, it's an entirely different story to provide concrete evidence. The fact that we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that she
and then pretends like it's from the other monitor that she just randomly saw.
stares at it constantly, the
So
fact that she wears her
funny, man.
blindfold so loosely, and the fact that she sits in such a weird position, all prove beyond a reasonable
And moves
doubt
her
that
little
this
cheeks
is
like-
the way she cheated. But here is my favorite part. After she has killed Alatreon, and while paper is still covering her screen, she looks directly at the hidden monitor and moves the camera around perfectly. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. And beyond all of this, the
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, she recentered it so that her character. Oh my god.
simple fact remains, the
That's
way
way
she
too
played the
funny.
game
I
is
would've
impossible to do if you
not
can't
been
see.
able to deduct
Now
that.
let's be real for a second. At the end of the day, this entire thing isn't a big deal. This is just silly, fun internet drama, and it's just really interesting to learn how Queen Ponzelot faked her blindfold runs. Personally, I'm not emotionally charged about this. I just love trying to expose video game fraudsters because I enjoy it. This whole back and forth is honestly really entertaining. But make no mistake, her behavior is not healthy, and it's not a good thing. There are games
And her Sims behaviors is not healthy either. And the amount of shit talking and defending her is obscene.
who spend thousands of hours legitimately trying to do amazing things without the ability to see. Blindfolded gaming takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of ingenuity, and Queen Ponsalot keeps taking a giant steaming dump on all of their efforts. Because of her actions, people are going to trust the accomplishments of real gamers even less. Skepticism will disproportionately rise, and the public will become even more cynical. But on the flip side, maybe that's a good thing. The amount of people who threw common sense to the wayside and took her runs at face value is pretty shocking. Maybe people do need to be a bit more skeptical, and maybe this lesson was an important one to learn.
Well, on one hand, I also think that it'll make people distrust, like, girls who do this kind of thing now. All the incels feel validated. It perpetuates, like, their hatred and being like, oh, women fucking suck at video games. And then if an actual girl has done this or does this and does not cheat, she's gonna have to fight her way all the way to the top and prove herself. She's actually just hurting, like, other women.
Let me know what you think in the comments. I worked with a group of gamers who helped me do research.
Hold on, because I remember at one point she did mention and say word for word, if you don't believe me, it's because you don't like girls being good at video games. I have 5,000 kills on Alatreon and blah, 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 blah. It was so annoying to hear that over and over. And I didn't have proof because I'm not good at, like, you know, proving this kind of thing. I had a suspicion that this was all for clout, especially after the whole Reddit post blew up. But I didn't say anything because I don't know. I don't play Monster Hunter that often.
For this video, including the YouTuber Abisoft, who is also releasing a video about this most recent run. I know for a fact he is including many details I haven't mentioned myself, so if you want to learn even more, please go and check out his video as well. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Yay! Clampjers! What a great video. Abisoft's videos out. That's cool.
Calm is a bitch like that.
When she said, I could do this because I killed him 5,000 times, I was like, but killing a thing without being blindfolded 5,000 times is a feat, sure, but doing it blindfolded is a feat in itself. It doesn't automatically make you, like, amazing at the game.